Picture the most romantic moment of your life. The lights are low, the music is perfect, you lean in toward the person across from you, and your lips meet. According to Hollywood, this is the peak of love. But according to evolutionary biology, right now, you are performing an extraordinarily weird immune system test that evolved hundreds of thousands of years ago from the act of vomiting pre-chewed meat, mouth to mouth, into babies who didn't have teeth yet. An act so strange that other animals would look over and think, why are these hairless monkeys eating each other's faces? Yes, kissing. In the entire animal kingdom, almost no species presses its lips together like this. It's a habit unique to us, and a completely insane one. So why, and how, did we ever start doing it? That's what we're getting into today, and let me tell you up front, the ending of this story is stranger than you expect. Because kissing is more than the innocent gesture you perceive. It has ancient roots in nurturing, it involves a hidden biological exchange, a subtle genetic assessment, and it triggers a remarkable chemical process in your brain. And there's a moment where half the world looks at what you're doing with genuine bewilderment. You were taught that kissing is universal. Every culture, every era, wherever there's love, lips meet. It sounds so obviously true that no questions it. But that's one of the biggest lies you've ever been told, and you're about to see the proof, written on a 4,500-year-old clay tablet. But to get there, we have to go back. Because the real story of kissing doesn't begin in a temple or a bedroom. It begins in the mouths of mothers. Picture a baby born tens of thousands of years ago. Not a single tooth yet. Soft gums, a tiny stomach, and one need, soft, digestible food. But there's no blender, no jars of baby food, supermarket, no fridge. Only tough chunks of meat, fibrous roots, raw plants, things a baby could never swallow without choking. And if it can't be fed, there's a brutal truth, it won't survive. So what does the mother do? She takes the food into her own mouth. She chews it, softens it with her saliva, grinds it into a paste, practically predigesting it with her own enzymes. And then she passes that paste straight into the baby's mouth, to lip. Picture it. Beside a fire, tens of thousands of years ago, a mother leans down, her baby's tiny face turned up, and their lips meet. Food, saliva, warmth, and life pass from one mouth to another. This has a name, premastication. Anthropologists also call it by a sweeter one, kiss feeding. And it's not some strange practice limited to a few isolated tribes. It's documented in hundreds of societies across the planet, from the Arctic to the Amazon. We even see versions of it in chimpanzees, who pass chewed food to their young mouth to mouth. Which means this reflex is older than humanity itself. Now think about what's happening in that baby's brain. Safety, food, warmth, hunger ending, survival, a face moving close, lips joining, then a deep wave of relief. The baby's developing brain welds that contact to the most life and death feeling there is. Someone is here. I'm not in danger. I am loved. I'm going to live. Before we can even say mama, lip contact is carved into us as love, care, and trust. And here's the theory. That romantic kiss you share as an adult may be a leftover, an echo, of that feeding moment. When you bond deeply with someone, your brain returns to its oldest trust and care circuit the moment your guard drops and you let yourself go. And at the center of that circuit sits lip contact. So when you kiss someone you love, your body is, in a way, reliving the very moment that once kept you alive. Sounds romantic, right? Wait, that's only the sweet part. But here's a strange question. Why the lips at all? Why not the nose, or the hand, or the forehead? Because your lips are nearly unique in the animal world. You're the only primate with permanently averted, rolled out, red lips. Look at a chimp, a gorilla, an orangutan, and you'll see nothing like them. And that's an expensive feature in evolutionary terms. More blood flows there. It's more exposed, more easily injured, and packed with nerves. Evolution doesn't keep something expensive for no reason. One theory says that redness is a billboard. Heavy blood flow means health, youth, fertility, a sign glowing in the middle of your face announcing, I'm alive. So your lips are both a signal and a sensor. They send a message and read one at the same time. Because there's a second theory, almost eerier. Watch monkeys and you'll see them spend hours grooming each other's fur, picking parasites, cleaning skin. It's not just hygiene. It's their social glue, how they bond, how they say I trust you. And that grooming often ends with one pressing their lips to the other's skin to remove one last piece. Now imagine human ancestors slowly losing their fur. The grooming became pointless, but that final lip touch survived, stripped of its purpose, leaving pure affection behind. So the kiss may be the ghost of grooming, the last mark left by a vanished habit. Two origins, feeding a baby or picking through fur. But both point to the same truth. Kissing didn't begin with love. It began with survival, with care, with trust. Romance came much later, draped over an ancient tool like an elegant dress. Now a fact that contradicts almost everything you've heard. Romantic kissing, that passionate, lip-to-lip movie kiss, is not a human universal. Not even close. In 2015, a team led by anthropologist William Jankowiak examined 168 cultures one by one, writing to ethnographers around the world. The question was simple. Do these people kiss romantically? The result was striking. Only 77 of 168 cultures did. That's 46%. More than half the world either doesn't do the thing you assume is the universal language of love, or has never even heard of it. In some regions, sub-Saharan Africa, New Guinea, parts of the Amazon, not a single ethnographer had ever witnessed even one romantic kiss. And many don't just skip it, they find it genuinely strange. In 1890, when the Dona of South Africa first saw Europeans kiss, they were puzzled and a little put off. Why would two people share saliva like that? The Trobriand Islanders called it insipid and silly. For some Amazonian communities the logic was simple. Pressing your mouth to someone else's felt like sharing your dinner with them, something intimate in a completely different way. The act that symbolizes profound connection for you is, to many cultures, just an unusual exchange of saliva and breath. The same action, opposite reactions. And the pattern researchers found is telling. The more complex and crowded a society, the more likely it kisses. Which suggests kissing isn't the pure instinct nature handed us. It's largely a behavior certain societies invented, polished, and passed down. Like learning to enjoy the bitterness of coffee. Researchers even have a name for our mistake, a Western-centric bias. We assume that because we enjoy something, all of humanity must. If I love it, everyone does. But the truth is the reverse. The thing you find most natural is, to a huge share of the planet, completely foreign. So why does it feel so good where people do it? The answer hides in two places inside you that you never notice. First, a chemical factory in your brain. Your lips are one of the most nerve-dense regions of your body, more sensitive than your fingertips. On your brain's touch map, your lips take up more space than your entire back. A single light touch sends a flood of signals up, and a chemical storm begins. First, dopamine, the reward molecule, the same system fired by your food or a winning bet, screaming, "Do that again." Then oxytocin, the bonding hormone that ties a mother to her baby, reopening that ancient trust circuit. This person is safe. This person is mine. And cortisol, the stress hormone, that one drops. Kissing literally calms you. Pleasure, bonding, and stress relief, all in one kiss. But evolution rewards nothing for free. If your body pays you this lavishly, that act must be critical to your survival. So what's the secret mission? Here's the thing. Kissing is biologically risky. You share your most vulnerable parts, mouth, breath, open membranes. If the other person is unwell, you've handed the infection the fastest route in. So why would evolution reward it? Because that kiss is a subconscious scanning device, a biological background check. When you kiss someone, your brain collects data without your knowledge. The taste of their saliva, the smell of their breath, chemical signals, hormone traces. And the most critical reading is genetic compatibility. Our closest relatives show it plainly. Bonobos kiss with their tongues, like us. Chimps kiss to test whether a mate is suitable, reading chemical cues in saliva and breath. For them, a kiss isn't a feeling, it's information. In us, a region of immune genes called MHC may drive the same thing. The famous proof went down in history as the sweaty t-shirt study. In the 1990s, researcher Klaus Wedekind had men wear the same shirt for several nights, then had women smell them and rate the scents. The women consistently preferred the smell of men whose immune genes were most different from their own. No face, no name, just smell. Why? Because combining two different immune profiles produces a child with a broader, tougher immune system. A kiss is the closest, highest resolution version of that reading. So that spark, that the chemistry between us is unreal, it really might be chemistry in the literal sense. And when you kiss someone and a voice says, "Oh," for no reason you can name, maybe your subconscious lab just flagged their genes as too similar to yours. A genetic compatibility test, run in seconds. And now for a fascinating biological detail, because this intimate act comes with a microbial exchange. Ever wondered what happens in a 10-second kiss? Researchers found that approximately 80 million bacteria transfer between two mouths. About 80 million in 10 seconds. This rapid exchange lets two entire microbiomes interact and blend. And it's not all bad. Couples who kiss regularly come to share similar mouth bacteria, and that constant exposure trains and diversifies the immune system. Kissing works like a primitive vaccine. But every vaccine carries some risk. Among these transferred microbes, some are commonly passed along. For example, HSV-1, associated with cold sores, can spread through a kiss, as can the Epstein-Barr virus, often called the kissing disease. It's a reminder that intimate moments can also pass along common infections. And this is far older than you'd guess. Scientists found a shared, saliva-borne microbe, Methanobrevibacter oralis, in both modern humans and Neanderthals, descended from the same lineage. Which opens a startling possibility. Modern humans and Neanderthals may have been kissing over 100,000 years ago, or at least sharing contact intimate enough to pass saliva. Two different humanities, meeting in a kiss in some firelit cave, and we still carry the trace in the microbes in our mouths today. As you watch this video, the descendants of a kiss from 50,000 years ago are living inside your mouth right now. So kissing is, all at once, affection, a chemical process, a genetic assessment, a kind of vaccine, and a carrier of microbes. Connection and risk, woven into a single moment. Now, the clay tablet I promised you. For decades, historians were sure the oldest written record of kissing came from India, Sanskrit texts around 1500 BCE describing lovers touching lip to lip. The theory was that kissing was born in India and slowly spread out. Until 2023, when Troels Pank Arbol of Copenhagen and Sophie Lund Rasmussen of Oxford, a married couple, fittingly, re-examined thousands of cuneiform clay tablets from ancient Mesopotamia, in modern Iraq and Syria, dating back to 2500 BCE. And there, sitting in plain sight for millennia, was kissing. The clearest example is the Barton cylinder, a Sumerian myth in which two gods, one the mother goddess Ninhursag, come together and kiss, romantically, at the very dawn of writing, scratched into wet clay with a reed. The implication was staggering. The written history of kissing was at least 1,000 years older than we thought, and it didn't spread from one source. It appeared in Mesopotamia, Egypt, and India independently. Which means kissing is far older than writing itself, likely a shared inheritance of all humanity. The tablets say more. Mesopotamia had two kinds of kisses, the respectful kiss of affection and the passionate kiss on the lips, and the second had strict rules, reserved for married couples, never done in public. There was a belief that a celibate priestess would lose her ability to speak if she kissed. A civilization wrapping kissing in rules and taboos proves one thing. People were kissing constantly, and society strained to control it. Think about that. 4,500 years ago, an entire civilization saw kissing as something so powerful, so significant, that they fenced it in with rules, prohibitions, and superstitions. They genuinely believed a single kiss could rob a person of their voice. You don't build that many walls around something unless it already matters enormously. The same tablets even mention a condition, Biyushanu, that caused sores around the mouth, which scientists cautiously link to the cold sore, HSV-1. Even at the dawn of writing, people kissed and noticed what could come with it. So go back to that dimly lit room, that perfect music, the lean in. That moment is far more crowded than it looks. In that kiss stands a mother passing chewed food to a toothless baby, a Neanderthal whose trace you still carry in your mouth, a million-year-old laboratory sniffing out your best match, a chemical factory pumping dopamine and calm into your brain, and a nameless Sumerian scribe carving the kiss of the gods into clay. You think you're kissing one person, but your body is running a feeding reflex, a genetic test, a microbiome exchange, a reward system, and a thousands of years old bonding ritual, all in the same single second. One kiss, a million years of code. That's the strange beauty of being human. Even our most romantic moments are written over a much older program. You think it's love, biology says survival, and maybe those were always the same thing. And if you find beautiful the very thing half the world finds strange, that doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It just means you speak a learned language, written in saliva, breath, chemistry, and a million years, and you say it again with every kiss, without ever realizing it. So what about you? Did learning all this make kissing seem stranger or more fascinating? Share your thoughts in the comments. I genuinely want to know what you think. And if you found this video fascinating, consider liking and subscribing for more like it. Until the next video, take good care of yourself.